everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm really excited for today. We are doing an updated bookshelf tour. Now, the last time I did one was not that long ago, but I have moved into a new apartment and I bought more bookshelves. I have more space, so I'm really excited to kind of talk about just like the books I have, how I set them up. This is one of my favorite things in my apartment, if not probably my favorite thing in my apartment. So I'm excited to talk about it and just kind of like show you how I set it up, why I set it up the way I set it up. So there's really nothing more to it other than let's just talk about books. And I'm going to start kind of going one by one with each bookshelf. So we'll start there. So right now I'm standing a little bit further away because I need to get a camera that has like a wide lens, and this one does not. So I apologize for that, but this is the overall shelving situation I have right now. I've got 2 of the large Billy bookshelves and 1 small one. I've also decorated the top with books. Most of those are my hardcovers, so we'll go over that too, but I'm going to start with one of the shelves and then we'll kind of go on from there. Okay, I think we're going to include the little small shelves too, just because they're already in frame, so we'll talk about them. But this is actually the one that I started with when I did my bookshelf tour. I've got all like hardbacks here. I've got my Quicksilvers because I just think that these are gorgeous to me. I love them. And then I also really like this original cover, which I don't know why everybody hated that cover so much because I personally really like it. So I have this on a stand. This is displayed. And then I've got my whole Sarah J. Maas shelf, which is necessary. I do have Crescent City, but I have a built-in shelf in my apartment, and Crescent City is sitting there. So it's not like a full Sarah J. Maas shelf without Crescent City, but I also really love Crescent City, and I wanted it displayed in my, I'll show you that too, but I just wanted it there. And then after that, this is like my duology shelf. So essentially, other than When the Moon Hatched, I've got this is a duology and so on and so forth. The rest of them, there's only 2 in the series at the moment. I don't know why, but this shelf is really satisfying to me. When the Moon Hatched is only on there because I don't really have a place for When the Moon Hatched right now. And I kind of wanted it next to the other Sarah Parker books. So that was just my thoughts there. But getting into, let's see, I can move you a little bit. Getting into these top 3 shelves of my smaller shelf, I've got the Daughter of No Worlds trilogy. These are all the original indie covers, and I love this trilogy so much. If you have not read this, the female main character in this book is like a mini Aelin. She is awesome. She's amazing. This was my first Carissa Broadbent series, and I will forever stand by this as her best series. It's amazing. So if you have not read that, definitely should. So I've displayed them all upright just because they have a special place in my heart. So I love those. And then below that, I have The City of Gods and Monsters, which, let me tell you, this series is one of my new God tier series. I'm in love with this series. Ever since I finished this, which was about a month and a half ago, I can't remember if I read it in April or March. I think this was a March read, actually. I fell in love with it. I love everything about it. And it's really crazy for me to say every single one of those books on that shelf is a 5-star read. I devoured that series. And it haunts me. I still think about it every day. And I think there is a 5th one coming out. So I'm patiently waiting for it. And another interesting thing, this actually just got published traditionally. It wasn't indie published before. So thought that was really cool. And I'm really happy for that author because Kayla Edwards, those books are amazing. So and then below that, I have my sprayed edges, some of my favorite sprayed edges. I just liked them displayed outwards because I think it's art. It's really pretty to look at, and this is what makes reading so fun to me. We get to see all these different things and how the books are expressed differently. So I have some of my favorites obviously faced outwards. I really love this Starside book. I know it's simple, but this has been honestly one of my favorite sprayed edges I've ever seen, which is crazy because it's really simple. And then I don't need to go through all of them, but I also really love Hollows. This is Hollow with the Dragon, probably also one of my most favorite ever. And I actually really like this book, so excited about that. But okay, I'm going to move you and we're going to do the bottom shelves. Okay, I'm on the ground for this one. These last 3 shelves, the one right above my head, this one right here, this is my sports romance shelf, kind of. I've got the Windy City series, I've got Off Campus, and then I have Binding 13, Boys of Tommen. I just have to say, Windy City series, one of my favorite series of all time. Love it. Off Campus, super fun. I'm really excited for the TV show that comes out this week, so I cannot wait. And then I have Binding 13, Boys of Tommen with Binding 13 displayed, because that is obviously one of my all-time favorites. I have thought about rereading it, but I don't think I want to go through the heartbreak again, but I think I will eventually. If you haven't read Boys of Tommen, heartbreak, but also so well written and just explores a lot of really intense topics and themes that happen in life and in real life, that people can't escape. So I think it brings to light a lot of important things, and she does a really nice job with it. So love Boys of Tommen. And then under that, I have a little plushie. It says, I like my men fictional. My mom actually got me this. And then I've got like a little mason jar with some tabs throughout. Oh, I forgot to mention here, this is like a little bookmark jar. So it's just full of bookmarks. And then I've got Face Off, which this is the version of Face Off that Chelsea Curto only gives out when she's doing signings. So I actually got this at BookCon. It is limited edition, and she signed this. And then I've got some like prints inside of it that she gave us. But I have this on display because I don't have the rest of the series. I read them all on my Kindle, and I really like the DC Stars series. I really like Chelsea. I just said I met her, and she was so pleasant, so wonderful. I really liked her. So when I got back here, I was like, you know what? Face Off is going on display because she was wonderful. And then I've got All My Heated Rivalry. I've got Chestnut Springs, Collide, Consider Me. Now I know that this is kind of a weird mix because it's sports, cowboy, and then sports. I have not read this series yet, and of course I have all of them, but you know what, it's fine. So I don't know, I need to get into this, and then that's more sports, but this just all kind of is like sports and romance to me, so that's why I did it like that. And then onto my little shelves, I have got the special edition Twilight, which I want to say these are my pride and joy, but they are. I love them. They're beautiful. So I love these. They are stunning. I got them for Christmas. And Twilight has been one of those things for me that is just like a comfort place. So they belong on my shelf, and they belong in their own spot. Like I have nothing more to say to that. And I have no apologies for Twilight on my shelf. So love this, and they are just absolutely beautiful. And then under that, I've got all the hardbacks of Harry Potter's. I didn't grow up a Harry Potter lover because when I was young, I tried to be cool and be like, oh, I didn't like that. And then I think when I hit 11 or 12, I ended up loving Harry Potter. So I listened to all of these in the audiobook in college, and I probably should do a reread because I don't fully remember it, but those also just deserve a spot on my shelf in their own designated spot because those hold a special place to my heart, near and dear. And I don't necessarily support J.K. Rowling because I don't need to get into that controversy, but I do love Harry Potter. So there's a weird part of me that's torn there, but you can only do so much. And then I will move this down just a little bit more. Okay. Had to cut that. On the very bottom, I'm actually on the floor. The bottom of my shelves, this is all dark romance that I have. I read a lot of my dark romance on my Kindle. So that's why I don't have a lot of physical copies. But of course, I have got the Legacy of God series. I've got Beautiful Venom, Sweet Venom, and then Kiss the Villain, Hunt the Villain, all by Rena Kent. And then I just kind of got some miscellaneous dark romance here. I've got The Bad Bishop, Twisted Pawn. I have read Bad Bishop. I just read this actually, so I need to get into Twisted Pawn. I have got the Edge of Darkness trilogy. Really good if you're looking for something that's really dark, but also there's just so much good content in this with trauma and horrible, horrible things that happen in everyday life. Not everyday life, but that happen in people's lives. So these are really good. Obviously, I've got Haunting Adeline, Cat and Mouse Duet. And then I have got, I don't know what this trilogy is called. Lights Out, Caught Up, Game On. I cannot think of what the series is called, but I actually have not read Game On yet. Lights Out I liked. I thought it was stupid but funny. It was good. It was just a good read. And then Caught Up I didn't like, really. So Game On, I haven't been like eager to read. I was just eager to buy it. And then on that middle shelf, that is all Stephen King. When I was younger, I was a big Stephen King girl. So it just like kind of felt nostalgic to put all my Stephen Kings there. I actually have more at my mom's house, but those were some of those things that reminded me I loved to read when I was younger, because I tended to forget that I liked that. So whenever I would pick one up, I would be reminded like, oh my gosh, I love this and I like horror. So those are just like a special place in my heart, and that's why they're on my shelf, but they're like on the bottom and they're not like full frontal focus. So okay, I'm gonna pull you back up and position you on the other shelf. My tripod is sitting weird today. I think I'm at an angle for some reason, and it might be my floor, to be completely honest with you. So if the angle of this is weird, it's because of my floor. But wait, sorry, I'm repositioning again. Maybe I'll put you up just a little bit. Okay. On the top shelf of my final big bookshelf, I have got the Empyrean series here, and I've got those all sitting up. And the only reason I have those displayed like that, which I do love them, is because I don't have Fourth Wing in a hardback, and I have the other two. So it really bothers me that they're not even. So I have those like that. And then, I did get some candles. They are cute little, I'll show you. They're cute for when it's dark or when I want to like just like have things kind of like highlighted, I guess. But over here, I've got the Once Upon a Broken Heart series, which I still need to finish these two. I've got Dyer Brown Fairy Tale. I've got an ARC, actually. This is a Veronica Roth ARC. This is Seek the Traitors. I'm really excited. I need to read this before it comes out. Oh my gosh, I'm going to drop shit. And then I have got, this is Nocticadia, and then this is Anathema. So these are two Carrie Lake books, and I have them faced out because I do really like the sprayed edges on this. And then I have Alex Haro. So this is just kind of like a random shelf of fantasy and kind of gothic romance. And then under that, I have got a very stacked shelf. I've got the rest of Carissa Broadbent, which love The Crowns of Nyaxia. I have got the Fearless series. I have got the Book of Azrael. I have all of those, which I love, the Book of Azrael. If you are looking for true enemies to lover, you want to read the Book of Azrael and all of them. So good. And then I've got the Reign of Shadows and Ending, that series, which I have to say I have not read one yet, but I will get there. I have all of them, clearly. And then I've got the first book in Zodiac Academy, and then the Atlas 6, which I was supposed to read before BookCon. Clearly did not. So, but let me pull this down one. Okay, and then on this shelf, wait, actually, we're going to do these two. Okay, and then on these final two shelves, I have got, this is just like a mix of, we've got some pretty sprayed edges. I do have another ARC here that I'm just bragging about because they're my first two ARCs that I've ever gotten, so I'm bragging. And then these are just kind of like a mix of some fantasy books. I've got obviously some dystopian here, some high fantasy, and then I've got my Shatter Me series. And then this shelf here is all romance, except for one mystery thriller, but I had no other place for that. So yeah, I've got all the thrillers here. I've got B.K. Borison, Emily Henry. I think I have one more of hers I have to get that I don't own yet. And then just kind of like miscellaneous. I've got like my holiday reads, my seasonals, Little Life. I've got one dark romance here, which I don't know actually why that's, this, I don't remember if this is considered dark romance or not. I think it is, but it wasn't that dark for me, so that's why I don't really consider it that. And then on the shelf under this, I've got one miscellaneous because he doesn't go anywhere else. So, well, yeah, that's my bookshelf tour. I'm really happy with this. I hopefully added some clips of like some close-ups. If not, I'll do that after because I took some. But this is like my pride and joy. I just love reading. It's the best thing ever. So I would love to know. Oh my God, wait. So before, I'll show you the top of my bookshelves too. So this is the very top. I've got Alchemized, Wild Reverence. They're mostly just hardbacks that I don't really have. I have a place for, but I don't. I've got the On Wings of Blood series over here and Enigma. And then that little, like, this thing is supposed to go on my kitchen table, but I unfortunately don't have space for it on my kitchen table. So it has ended up on the top of my bookshelf, and I would really like to put like flowers in the top of that vase, because it's like one big long thing with a bunch of little cups. So we'll see what I do with that, if I do anything with it. But this is my bookshelf tour, my updated bookshelf tour. I'm really happy with it. I love it, but I would love to know like if other people have recommendations or things they think I should do. I have been trying not to buy as many books lately because I have Kindle Unlimited. Like, I'm trying to save a little bit of money because my book buying is crazy. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. But I'm always open to opinions and different ways of switching it up. But I definitely, hopefully I've shown you guys some close-ups. If not, I'll show them right after this. But like always, thank you for being here. I appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.